Kendrick Lamar dropped. Ball's not with me. Well, it's this Ball's not with me. So I guess a lot of my talking will be towards Theodore Ball, who I hope can handle the editing. How's everyone doing? My name's Black, and Kendrick just dropped. And I wanted to kind of talk about this song that's on his new album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, called We Cry Together. And I'm not really going to go into the song. The song's incredible. It sounds like Victor Vaughn, Blockhead, and Griselda had a baby. That's what it sounds like, and it's incredible. If you don't know Blockhead, he's an instrumentalist. You should check out Blockhead's The Daily Routine, which could have been like the harbinger for this song right here, We Cry Together. Victor Vaughn, Can I Watch? Kind of like the what's the word, predecessor to the back and forth formula that Kendrick uses on this song. And Griselda with that grimy beat. I mean, thank you, The Alchemist. Good Lord. That beat. But yeah, I'm not here to talk about the song itself as much as kind of just break it down, because it's really real. It's very real. It's a very real depiction of how certain relationships are in the world. And I mean, Theodore, if you can find it, if you can find it while you're editing, see if you can grab a soundbite of the Pokemon Stadium announcer saying nasty toxic, because that's exactly how these conversations are. Nasty toxic. So I kind of wanted to break down the conversation or the full out argument that's going on in this song. And I mean, I'm kind of just not so much keeping score, but like kind of like calling foul on the play when it needs to be called, and kind of breaking down different aspects of the lyrics. Because I mean, it's a very accurate depiction. If I wasn't breaking down this song's lyrics, I could pull footage of an argument that I've seen in my own family and many other families that run just like it and break it down the exact same way. But since we have it in song form, it might make it a little bit easier and a little more, it's more public this way, and you don't really have to tear into someone's private life in order to discuss it. I swear I'm tired of these emotional ass, ungrateful ass bitches. Unstable ass, confrontational ass, dumb bitches. If anybody has been watching anything red pilled, been watching any female podcasts, any male podcasts that are actually discussing anything gender related, you probably have a little bit of an idea of what he's talking about here. Saying that but you might not really see it from that point of view, with lines like, you want to bring a nigga down even when I'm trying to do right. Now, what he's referring to is like, I mean, I actually have personal experience with this, where I'm just being me. I'm not out messing with anybody, normally focusing on my work, this, that, and the third. And it's a mess, because women will come into new relationships carrying baggage from previous relationships. Men will do that too. Which is kind of like why I'm on the sideline right now, because it's like I got some baggage that I can't get off me so easy, so I'm kind of taking myself out the running right now. But women will bring baggage into a relationship, and if that baggage has something to do with infidelity, it don't matter or it has something to do with just kind of not being a good person. It's like trauma follows people. So if you could be doing everything right as the man in the relationship, you could be doing everything right. It does not matter in some cases. It's like, you want to bring him down even when I'm trying to do right. That's what he's talking about. I know, like, just because I'm a guy, it's like some people aren't going to hear me. Some people aren't going to mess with what I'm saying just off the rip for that. But rock with me for a second.
I step away right now. You gonna move on with your life. Fuck you, nigga. You love a bitty party. I won't show up. Always act like your shit don't stink. Motherfucker, grow up forever.
Now I can't. Okay, you love a pity party. I won't show up. Always act like your ish don't stink. Mother, grow up. Here's the thing. I've never heard a man say his ish don't stink. I've never, now, excuse me, I've seen some dudes act like it, but not so much in a relationship setting. It'll be kind of like amongst their peers, you know, those people that are like feeling themselves like they feel like nobody can really touch them. Never really in a relationship setting though. Normally it's the woman that I see act like that. I was raised by a band of women. And that was actually one of the things that I was told many a times growing up was that their ish didn't stink. And that, like, you know, just and it was supposed to be like pulled off. It was supposed to be like just passed off as fact. I'm sitting there like that's a lie as a young boy, and they were saying that like I'm rude or like that's not true. It's like I'm supposed to listen to what they're saying. It's like don't lie to me. It's like I can smell it. But to move past it, the line that came up before, that part was killing me too. You love a pity party, I won't show up. So it's like as soon as the dude starts to feel anything, it's just clock out. It's like nothing. I mean, I get it. People tend to believe that men are supposed to be like stoic, emotionless, this, that, and the third. So as soon as you start to see anything resembling an emotion, it's like, forget this dude. But that's not based in reality. Now in situations, yes, it pays for a dude to put that on, that stoicness and that emotionlessness to handle business. Relationships are more complicated than that. And it's kind of raunchy that she would pull this card right off the bat. But I mean, it happens. I'm not so much speaking on this. Remember, this song is not just a song. This is a very accurate depiction of how some of these conversations go, which is why I'm giving it kind of like a play-by-play breakdown. It's like she was kind of raunchy for pulling that card that early.
Like this shit, won't buy shit, sit around and deny shit, fuck around on the side bitch, then come fucking up my shit.
Nasty, toxic.
Now, I'm not gonna front. If the dude had a side chick in this situation, shame on you. What are you doing? That's all I can say about that is, what are you doing? He's like, if y'all are supposed to be together, what are you doing?
Up your shit, you must be breathing in some more shit.
Now that was foul. I have to call foul on the play about the bleeding and some more. It's like, the same way she was throwing up the pity party, this, that, and the third. This is the male equivalent of that. It's like, she is like, if she's really wilding out, you try to like claim that she's on her monthlies or this, that, and the third. You're trying. It's deflection. You're trying to disregard the other person, and relationships ain't really gonna pop off like that. It's not gonna work out right, or it's not gonna work out in a healthy fashion anyway.
Bitch, I don't know shit. Fuck your feelings. You want some old shit? See, I don't know why you like playing mind games with me. Bitch, I ain't slow nor dizzy. I know when you being distant. I know when you back busy.
Now I gotta talk about this part. He said, I don't know why you like playing mind games with me. I've had a woman tell me that. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how to play mind games. I've always been very straightforward. If you're in your mind playing solitaire with yourself and get confused, that wasn't the dude's fault. I'm not saying that that's this situation. All I'm saying is I've been accused of playing mind games. I don't know how to play mind games. Normally, I'm a person that means what he says and says what he means. And I have watched one or two women that I was talking to in my past years completely spiral, like whirlwind spin off of things that they thought and weren't willing to listen to what I was saying that was going against what they thought. She goes on to say, I ain't slow nor ditzy. I know when you're being distant. I know when you're fake busy. Yeah, I've been accused of that as well, being fake busy around the time that I was, doing like 8-hour, 10-hour studio sessions and wasn't really available to do much else. And I get it. It is a common lie for dudes to be like, oh, I'm at the studio. I had one person I was working with on music lie on me, saying that he was at the studio with me. I was like, don't you ever do that again. So I get it. But you can't. It's like, women, you have to stop assuming so much. I know when you're being distant. I know when you're fake busy. It's like, you gotta stop assuming. Don't assume.
Get out your feelings and miss me with that reverse psychology.
She killed me with the reverse psychology line. Because a lot of things that she would say when, like, basically with women in relationships and with men in relationships, there are times where they'll both be messing up. And then they choose to, like, basically project their actions onto the other person. It's like, you're doing all this wild stuff, so you think the other person must be doing the wild stuff too. So the reverse psychology line messed me up because it's like, imagine if everything that she's trying to put on him is what she's actually doing, and then she tries to call it reverse psychology. That's a whirlwind spin in itself. That's crazy. It's like, you doing all this messed up stuff, so you accuse him of that, and then you call it reverse psychology. So it's like and it all came from the same person. Incredible.
Bitch, you trippin', who got you that rolling chain? And who put that car in my name? But you think I'ma dish your ass? Nah, nigga, you fucking lame. You know what? Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, nigga. Nah, fuck you, bitch. Nah, fuck you, nigga. Fuck you, bitch. Nah, fuck you, nigga. Nah, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, nigga.
That hook dope as hell. That hook is fire.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, nigga. Fuck you, bitch. Nah, fuck you. Wasting my time and energy trying to be good to you.
Okay, here's one thing that was killing me. She said, wasting my time and energy trying to be good to you. Okay, now Kendrick is painting a very particular picture. Maybe in this particular relationship, maybe she's right. Maybe it is a waste of her time and energy trying to be good to the dude. But it's like, there are instances in relationships that I've seen where when it comes time to argue, women just pull out all the ammo, whether it makes sense or not, just trying to hurt the other person as much as they've been hurt. Whether it's like legit, whether like it was like a legitimate thing or not, they'll pull it all out. Wasting my time and energy. As soon as a woman does not like the relationship, she will call it a waste of time and energy. It doesn't matter if she thought it was time well invested 5 seconds ago. As soon as she says it's a waste of time, it becomes a waste of time. And that's what kills me about it. And a lot of these, that's another thing. It's like, we haven't really gotten into that area yet, but I was going to kind of keep track of it. There's some stuff you just shouldn't say in a relationship to one another. It's like, it's not going to be the same after you say that. It's like, yeah, you could pretend like, it wasn't there. You could just try and write it off like, oh, it was just in a moment. Some of that stuff, you can't say stuff like that. You can't do that. Wasting my time and energy trying to be good to you. It's like, that's borderline, but it's not. It's like, I guess you can let that glance off.
Most friends, families gave more energy because of you.
Now, if he is responsible for all of that, then God, what are you doing? The dude, what is he doing? Lost friends, family. Well, man, each one of those is a different conversation. I can't break all of that down right now. Gain more enemies because of you. Good Lord.
Bitches staring at me in sorrow.
Staring at you in sorrow? Do you look messed up? I'm trying to figure out how like, wait, you got anything on this? Bitches staring at me in sorrow. Why would they stare at her in sorrow? Like, is she banged up? Wait. No, go ahead.
Of the toxicity, like, you know how you have a friend and they keep going back with this shitty ex.
Oh.
So you're just like,
Oh. I was trying to figure out, is it sorrow like they're sad for her? Or is it sorrow like they got the stomach virus face like from Cat Williams? Where it's like just, like they just can't stand her.
Hoes scratching my cars.
Now, how this dude got hoes scratching her car up? Okay, so maybe he is messing around with other chicks, which is bad on the dude. It's bad on the dude. It's a bad move.
Should've followed my mind in 09 and just moved to Georgia. But that's my fault now. You power tripping or guilt tripping.
That's true. In some of these more toxic relationships, the female will either be power tripping or guilt tripping, whichever is convenient at the time, whatever like position she's in. And it's tough. It's tough to actually have a good relationship like that. It's like it's almost, if I could find the video, I'll tell Theodore about it to try and put it in. But I was watching this one video, this girl, she was in a relationship, and it's like, as in the same instant that she was trying to be feminine, she also had to like force dominance over the man that she was in the video with. And I was like, that's a weird line to try and walk. It's like, try your best on that tightrope, but I don't know. It looks like something you fall off. You either power tripping or guilt tripping. And why is it? That's the thing. Because if you power tripping or guilt tripping, it's like how invested are you really in the relationship? It can't be that much if you are actively doing that. Now maybe it's subconscious, but if you're actively doing that, the whole relationship is a game. It's not even a relationship. It's just a game. Which some women have openly admitted that that's what they do. And I've seen many a dude just kind of give up on dating off, like, you know, bumping into a few of the wrong ones. Well, more than a few. And vice versa. That's the crazy thing about it. It's been going on for years, and I've been saying it for years. But it's like these cold-hearted dogs and these low-down, dirty women, they create one another. Nobody's born like this. Not everybody's raised like this, because sometimes you don't even need to bump into a cold-hearted woman. Sometimes you got people in your family that'll teach you to play the game. I know these dudes out here, some of them got dads and uncles or older cousins. And I know these women, boy. Some of the women that I knew openly admitted, like when we were growing up, openly admitted that their mothers or their aunties or older female cousins taught them how to play the game. But that's the thing, they create one another. It's crazy. So it's like, let's say you have this one low down girl, but you got a good guy. Through enough low down girls coming into contact with him and completely messing him over, he'll turn into a dog. And and as the universe has it, that'll be the time that he actually meets a good girl. But he's already a dog now. So through them interacting, he could turn her into a lowdown. And it just keeps going in this endless cycle. And then everyone wants to point at the other side and say that they're the problem. Instead of trying to blame the other side, y'all need to start working together. This ain't gonna work like this.
held your ass down. You just cut me down, that's a big difference.
What is the textbook definition of to hold somebody down? Because she flipped that way too quick. He was like, I held you down. You kept me down. That's a big difference. And that's jacked up. That's jacked up because it's a whole nother thing. When you're with a girl and things are going good, or when you're with a guy and things are going good, but I don't hear guys say this. As soon as things turn shaky and or bad, all of a sudden, everything was toxic. All of a sudden, everything was hazardous. He's like, you kept me down? Why were you there as long as you were? If you were aware that he was keeping you down, why were you there for that? That's what kills me, because it's like everything turns to trash. Everything turns to ash if it becomes bad at a certain point. It doesn't make sense. And and honestly, it's free to not make sense when it comes from the woman's side, because they don't have to be accountable for anything. It doesn't matter what little sense it makes, because it's always going to be the dude's fault in the long run. So what's it matter? Whenever they call it over, whenever they call it foul, yeah, foul on you. Talking to the guy. He's like, yeah, it's going to be foul on you. And you're going to get benched.
Stressing myself trying to figure why I'm not good enough. Going to church praying for you, searching for good in us. Little dick ass nigga that's trying to go big.
Foul on the play. Foul on the play. See, all right, that was another. See, all right, there we go. That was one of the things where it's like, you can't come back from that. As soon as you admit that he has a small dick, it's over, isn't it? It's not like it's gonna get any bigger in the future. So if y'all keep living together, it's like, yeah, he just got that now. And why weren't you upfront with the shits in the beginning? You just wait to toss it out. That's the type of thing that'll make people not believe you. It's like, y'all have been together X amount of time, and then all of a sudden he has a small dick. It's like you were just fine with it. I don't know if you're seeing other dudes that's, makes it more fine for you. But I mean, his next line sums it up. It's like, but you were sucking it though.
But you were sucking his dick though. Well, shit, I should have sucked it.
Nasty doctor.
See, and that's another foul on the play. That's the second foul. That's the second foul on the play, I think, back to back at least. For the female, it's like you can't come back from that. And it's like, now you talking about you should have sucked this other dude. You should have been with this other dude. It's like the relationship's got to be ending at this point. He's like, you can't just toss the, I'm sure. Like, no, because of course I'm sure. I've seen too many arguments in relationships. People throwing names out and stuff. Like, and it'll be Dusty too. Like, it'll be the dude's best friend or something like that. It's like, oh my God. It's like, what? Because hurt people. And I'm guessing the woman in that instant is feeling a tremendous amount of hurt. To the point where she's willing to do anything and everything to try and hurt him the same amount that she feels hurt. But foul on the play, because you can't come back from that. The relationship's got to be ending at this point.
What you say? I should've found a bigger dick. Get the fuck out my face. Oh, what, you mad? Shut up, bitch. You got me fucked up today. You mad though? Feelings is shot.
See, and that's the thing. I wish women were really trying more often than not, because some do. I mean, shoot, the majority of the friends I had growing up were female. And I stuck around them for a reason. It's like, I'm not a player. It just, it's weird, because when you have friends that are girls, it's different when you're a guy. And one of the things that makes it different, they don't do all of that like underhanded stab you in the back type stuff like they do with their other girlfriends. And they tend to be more frank with you. Like they'll actually tell you how they really feel about some stuff instead of, you know, how they are with their other girlfriends where it's like, you know, just support, period. But I wish, to try and get back, but I wish that wasn't all. I wish this wasn't the goal more often than not. You mad, little feelings is shot. Why is that the goal in every goddamn argument? You don't have nothing to push for? You don't have a goal other than trying to rattle his cage and be like, okay, got you in your feelings. That's not going to solve nothing. But then again, people who do this, they're not really focused on solving anything. They just want to feel good in the moment. Whew, these are rough relationships.
Go text that braggedy bitch and telling you all that she got. Let her know you packing your shit. You gotta move by the first.
That's the thing. That's the thing that kills me, because I've been told that, not that I'm moving out. Bro, I've never had to sleep on the couch. But I've been told, go text that other chick. When there wasn't no other chick. It's like, like in this case, it sounds like old dude dirty. It sounds like old dude's dirty. But if you're gonna bring this up in an argument, I need women to be sure that they're sure. Cause the girls that I dealt with, they were guessing. And they fumbled the stick. They dropped the baton. They dropped the ball.
Give me my keys, I'ma be late for work. Fuck your job, today gon' be the day you walk to that bitch. Give me my fucking keys.
Alright, the dude being ultra childish right now. This isn't foul on the play because he ain't even saying much of nothing.
I like you parking that bitch. Give me my keys, bro. Oh God, you ain't getting these keys. Give me my fucking keys. Now you mad at me. I got you hiding for nothing. I do the same when we fuck.
Foul on the play. That's the thing. And it kills me. Whenever I'm trying to figure out if guys actually know that there can be, like, if that point actually exists, do they actively know that there are fouls on the play and points that you ain't supposed to cross in the midst of arguments? Because it seems like, no, it's not that women don't know, it's that they don't care when they get into it, when they flare up. Now, I've seen some dudes lose their cool and go completely ape and off the wall. I've seen it. But not nearly as much as I've seen women do it. And me personally, I always try to have foresight. Whereas, like, no matter what situation I'm in right now, it's like, is this where the full clean break comes in? Or do I need to kind of like be aware of where it is that I go in this situation? I mean, she already had 3 fouls on the play. That last one was raunchy. He said, I got you screaming for nothing. She said, I do the same when we...
Act like that pussy ain't loose.
You know what? That was foul on the play. That was foul on the play for the dude. And you know what? I left a foul off. Like, if he was actually messing with a chick, it was like, foul on the play on him. So, okay. Right now, we 2-3. 2-3 females got 3.
Act like I'm coming.
That's not foul on the play, but I do have to address that. You rather act like you... Why act like it instead of working with the dude to actually get you there? Why? You're only putting yourself in a jacked up position. You're only putting yourself in a jacked up position when you do that. It makes no sense. And you can't blame the dude for it, whether it be member size or you want it to be more enjoyable for him. He's gonna get his regardless. Jeez, take in a regular relationship. Okay, not a regular relationship. In a relationship where you guys are, let's say it's a relationship where you're living together and you're sexually active. Within a year, if y'all are really sexually active, you are going to roughly have sex about 200 times that year. Toss 5 of those into the education bin. It's like, you don't need to just routine, switch it up. Toss 5 of those, 10 of those, 200 sessions in the education bin, where it's like y'all kind of like talk through it, you know, see what she likes. Actually learn some stuff. Figure it out. Stop lying, because that's what it is. It's a lie for you to act like you're doing that just to throw it back in his face. It's like, look, okay, if you did that, if you just acting like it to one day throw it in his face, that's destructive foresight, and that's jacked up to do in a relationship in the first place. If you are actually climaxing and then you're lying in the argument to say that you're not, once again, that's jacked up on your part. It's like, just be honest. Just be honest. Just be honest.
I'd rather fuck off the juice. I'd rather fuck on your cousin.
Foul on the, god damn it. I done broke my pencil. She said, I'd rather see, and that's the thing. Now, okay. Call dust is like the dude. If the dude's messing around with another chick, dusty. All right, cool. But she said, I'd rather mess with your cousin. See, now you touching too close. And it's like, that's the thing. It's like, okay, she's hurt. She might be trying to hurt him the same amount that she feels she's hurting. But you're not coming back from that. If a dude lets you come back from that, something wrong with the dude. You're not coming back from that. You shouldn't be coming back from that. So I'd rather, boy, on his cousin? What's wrong with you? And what's wrong with the cousin if you bout it?
You said you gon' fuck who? You heard me, nigga. It's nothing.
She said it's nothing. I wish I could double up on the foul on the play, but I'm not.
You know what? Fuck you, nigga. Fuck you, bitch. Nah, fuck you, nigga. Fuck you, bitch. Nigga thought about cuffing you. Nigga, you dirty and you broke.
That was a line. It's like, this is what couples do. I should have thought about cuffing you. Well, you see, he's not asking that like a question. I feel like that line was there to kind of like bring it up. It's like, couples do this, and it's not healthy. And something that wasn't brought up in the song is that sometimes when the fallout is going on like this, you have children peeking around the corner or hiding behind the couch or in their room with the door closed trying to not hear it. But people who act like this, sadly, they don't care about those kids. Those people really shouldn't have had kids. It's sad. It's like in those households, it's like all you have is that fussing and fighting. Sometimes it happens a lot. Sometimes it's far and few between. But when it gets like this, it's ridiculous, especially when there's children around. And what's jacked up is some children are going to see this and internalize it as like, that's what love is. And then when they get out in public or it's like they start going around and start trying to find some, you know, that special someone for themselves, this comes out. Now imagine if their significant other didn't see this coming, or they didn't experience that in the house they grew up in. It's gonna be a mess.
The insecurities you got on my fuck me.
That's another thing. Bringing up insecurities. What insecurities? I don't know. It seems like a lot of the stuff that's getting brought up in this song is that random rapid fire ammo that women like to toss out in arguments that don't really have any ground, but it sounds good. It's like, why not focus on the matter at hand? You just start throwing everything. You just start emptying your pockets, pulling out everything. A lot of the stuff wasn't even needed for the job, and a lot of the stuff don't work. But as long as you can just bash him down however you can, it's good for you. That's bad.
Womanizer got no affection from your mom. I said,
Wow. Jesus. I wish there were more files that I could give the dude. But this is normally how these conversations go. Even in arguments that I was having with people that I was seeing back when I was growing up. I was holding back in those arguments. Cause it's like some stuff you ain't supposed to throw in people's face. It's jacked up. Even if the stuff ain't true. It's like, why would you do that? But it don't matter. Cause you feel bad. Right? Freaking ridiculous. But yeah, file on the play is 2-5.
speak with my mama, the fuck is your problem? That bitch don't like me anyway.
No excuse.
She gave you the Honda and use that shit to throw it in my face.
Now that reminded me, she did bring up a car. She had a car. It's the Honda. It's in her name. The mama gave it to you. Just throw it in your... Now, okay. Once again, don't know the situation. That could be subjective, or the mother actually actively does that and is jacked up.
Buddy, you just can't apologize. Egotistic, narcissistic, love your own lies. See, you the reason why Snow Woman fucked up. Why they say it's a man's world. See, you the reason for trouble. You the reason we overlooked, underpaid, underbooked, understated. If you look, I don't speak, then I'll call on my name.
Hold on. Hold on. Find it funny you just can't apologize. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Because really, that goes to both sides. Egotistic, narcissistic, love your own lies. See, you the reason why strong women fucked up. That one's too vague. That one's really too vague. Why they say it's a man's world? No. See, you the reason for Trump? No. You the reason we overlooked, underpaid, underbooked, undershamed. Okay, see, here's the big one. Here's the really, really big one. A lot of the things that women today are blaming dudes for are things that happened in the past. Normally, when they bring up the current state of things, they always refer to history and have to jump 50 to 80 years ago to fully make their example. And this is the thing. This is the thing that's good. This is the thing that's like kind of killing us right now, because your anger and where it should be directed. You are angry at people that are either dead or about to die. But you are yelling and fussing and blaming people that are your age. and you look them in the face, and just because they look like the people that you want to be mad at or how you've pictured them, they get all the scrutiny. That doesn't make any sense. That's like a mother and this stuff happens. Don't act like it don't. This is like a mother acting real shitty towards the child because the child looks too much like they daddy that she don't mess with no more. And that's jacked up. If women policed their actions at least a fifth, 20% as much as they try to police the actions of men, the world would not look like how it does right now. And the same thing goes to the men. If you would police your actions, if you would police you and yours the same way you police them and theirs, we wouldn't have these problems. But you completely overlook it. It's a shame. I also like that if you look, I don't speak, then called out my name. That actually is a very valid point. But that's what I'm talking about, dudes. What are you doing? It's like, we know what you're doing, but you gotta cut that out.
See you the reason for Trump. You the reason he overlooked, underpaid, underbooked, undershamed. If you look, I don't speak, then I'm called on my name. I'm flawed, I'm paid, never yours, I remain. You the reason bitches are fucking with bitches when they change.
Now, you can't go off and, well, I mean, okay, at least she was honest. I'm flawed and pain, never yours. But you can't blame men for everything going on with you. You can't. You can try, and God help how you try, but it doesn't hold up. It doesn't work. And it seems like some people are willing to ride they're willing to hop on the bus and ride it until the wheels fall off. Shoot, some people plan to stay on once the bus catches fire. But to those that are actually willing to be honest with your folks. Just be honest all around. It's not going to work like that. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't hold up. You can't blame men for absolutely everything going on with you.
You the reason bitches start calling y'all bitches cause y'all useless.
I'm gonna leave that one there. It's like, stop calling men useless because they're not useless.
You the reason Harvey Weinstein had to see his conclusion.
I actually don't get that line. You the reason Harvey Weinstein had to see his conclusion. I know what happened to Harvey Weinstein, but what does that have to do with the dude that she's talking to? What's that have to do with dudes in general? And how are they the reason? Son.
You the reason R. Kelly can't recognize that he's abusive.
Same thing. I know what happened with R. Kelly. We all know what happened with R. Kelly. But we're the reason he can't see how he's abusive?
Shut the fuck up. I know you still playing this music. Said I'm tired of these emotional ass, ungrateful ass bitches. Fake innocent, fake feminists. Stop pretending.
I mean, he's on point. He's on point. That's a really big thing that I'm kind of growing tired of. It's people being disingenuous. When it comes to, they're calling it the gender war. When it comes to the gender war specifically, they have I don't know. It's like people tend to be disingenuous. We keep letting the loud, the hurt, and the hard-headed set the parameters. There's got to be some type of change. Some change has to take place.
Y'all sentiments ain't really than what you defended. It's a split decision. Problems like you, the real victims.
Y'all sentiments ain't realer than what you defending. It's a split decision. Broads like you and real victims. It's kind of sad how like people openly know the power that is within playing the victim and people openly abuse it. But we as a society don't have a proper way to police it or check it. It's kind of like a case-to-case thing, and most people don't really want to try and go against it because it's such a tender situation, which is why people like to hop in and abuse it. It's a split decision. Broads like you and real victims. And I might do a second video on just that part alone. But yeah, no, that was a bar.
Let's talk the truth. Women in general just can't get along. When Tosh got a man, you didn't pick up the phone. When they got a job, you said you stay at home. While R&B bitches don't feature on each other's songs.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Never mind, bitch, I'm barking out.
Whatever, nigga, I'm off you
Them
now.
evil ass kept me well and down.
Pussy nigga, best watch your mouth.
Pussy.
The ending killed me when I first heard it, because that is exactly how it'll go. I'll see these people like just completely falling out, and then it's like next thing I know, I hear that like they made up. It's like, oh, and then it becomes like this routine for them, but it's not a healthy routine. It's actually really bad and can lead to some really dark places. And like really, I was upset because it's like all of that. There were 5 fouls on the female, 2 fouls on the dude, and they just completely like let it go and walked it off. It's like so you're not gonna think about what she said at all. Y'all, there's just water under the bridge, huh? I don't know how people can operate like that. I want to understand. If somebody has a better idea, maybe you're one of the toxic people. I mean, nasty toxic. Hop in the comment section. Let me know. And the tap dancing killed me. The tap dancing, and when they said stop tap dancing around the conversation, when I first heard it, I was like, oh shoot, that's what the tapping's for. I've heard this song at least 15 times now, and this is the day that the album came out. And now every time I hear the tap dancing, it makes me sad. Because I'm just thinking about all those other people that argue just like this. And then they go right back to just dancing around the bigger issue, just dancing around the problem. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Maybe you liked it, maybe you disliked it. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. If you want more stuff like this, I mean, I could talk about other lyrics and other songs. Let me know. I'm Black Genesis, and it's this long. You guys have a nice day.